ethnic studies is not to be confused with talking about cultural diversity. I think everybody would agree, and it is a founding American tenet, principle, and value that diversity is a good thing, whether it be race, whether it be religion, whether it be how you view life. Ethnic studies is not the same as saying that we are celebrating cultural diversity if you read some of the definitions of the language in the bill. If that were the case, this bill wouldn't be that controversial. I'm just going to look at page 4, specifically lines 4.24 to 4.27. And I'm just going to read a little bit. Ethnic studies analyzes the ways in which race and racism have been and continue to be powerful social, cultural, and political forces in the connection of race or other groups of stratification, including gender, class, sexuality, religion, and legal status. I think that's what the last testifier was getting at when he talked about ideologically loaded. And I can't tell you how many times I heard from parents, regardless of their political ideology, they said over and over again, just keep politics out of the classroom. Please help my kids learn the basic academic instruction that they need, reading, writing, math, science, what have you. And perhaps something like this is better situated as an elective and not a requirement to graduate. That would be a happy medium. On page 5, lines 5.4 to 5.6, it talks about school districts and charter schools must provide ethnic studies instruction in elementary schools and middle schools. This is not just a high school course requirement that's being proposed. This is saying we're going to embed it from K through 12. In the bill earlier, Senate File 2442, we were talking about teaching kids about the Holocaust and genocide. That was limited to middle and high school education. This goes even beyond that in how early we're trying to introduce kids to this and trying to mandate it within our districts. Also on page 5, lines 5.11 to 5.13, it says rulemaking. The Commissioner of Education must adopt rules for statewide academic standards for ethnic studies curriculum to be required for all kindergarten through grade 12 students. Again, getting back to just how pervasive this is going to be for districts to try to wrap their heads around and try to implement. And Mr. Chair, I am almost done. Page 6, I'm going to read you lines 6.26 to 6.29, which talk about model curriculum that the department should create. It should include a power, race, class, and gender analysis as part of the course via literature, discussion, classwork, and homework as the analysis relates to ethnic studies courses, and include an intersectional analysis of climate, health, food, housing, education, and the last word is policy. If that is not a blatant sidestep from academic instruction, I don't know what is. We're not just mandating that we have to teach about ethnic studies or diversity. We're saying that you have to teach it through the lens of all these highly political things. And that does not compute with what we're being told by parents and even teachers when they say you're making our job much more difficult when you keep infusing all this politically loaded and charged stuff. It's distracting, and it's not allowing us to focus on the true academic instruction that the kids need. We've got kids that need to play catch-up. I toured a charter school last week, and part of the conversation was about why they are seeing kids opt to go to their school or other schools rather than public schools. And the political aspects of what's finding its way into the classroom was one of the number one things cited as why folks are choosing other schooling options. And I think that's why, unfortunately, our state has seen a slight decline in public school enrollment. That's not healthy. Folks, I don't want to see enrollment in our public schools decline. I would love to see the opposite, but we have to stop giving parents reasons to go elsewhere. And bills like this don't help that cause.